Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and my main man,
JC.
John Coleman.
Welcome back, Dustin.
Welcome back, JC.
What's popping?
You must have missed us.
No.
We had a
lot of guests in the seat.
Back to back to back. Bro, we went UCF, then we went all AI with Pavan, then we went back UCF.
Yo, shout out to UCF kids actually having a brain and like asking like decent questions. I thought they would be up there busting balls and throwing paper planes and spit wads like I would have been doing, but shout out UCF.
Way to go. Yeah, UCF, go Knights. That is why I'm rocking the football today. I'm doing it not because of the football program, but because of the students.
Yeah, shout out the students.
Yeah, and in fact, shame on me. I mistakenly said, there's like 50, 60 students when we left.
300,000.
Well,
oh, sorry.
No, not how many are enrolled. Not how many are enrolled. No, but there was over 100 in that room each episode because they changed out the room, right? We did an episode, then we went upstairs and had lunch, then we did an episode, although our lunch was cut short because them kids wanted to stay.
Yeah, shout out to the Cobbs.
Yes.
College of Business.
Is that what they're called? That's what you call them?
That's what I'm calling them as of now.
Well, we're going to get after it, but let's do some shout outs. I just got off a call with my new friend all the way up from Erie, PA, just north of Pittsburgh, Meg Marsh.
Shout out Meg Marsh.
Meg Marsh, she is a UConn
Husky.
Yes, field hockey player. Husband played football and ran track for UConn.
There you go.
Yeah, neither one of them were good enough to play basketball for UConn, but few are.
Yeah,
few are. Yeah. But, both D1 athletes. But Meg's a little bit closer to your age and my age than she is that of the current field hockey team's age.
Okay.
But she is a consummate mortgage professional. She's an ex-top producer. She owns a very successful mortgage brokerage. Now she's starting to franchise out her brokerage. And check this out. She has a product that if somebody was looking to become a mortgage broker and they have failed to realize because maybe they didn't listen to Bryce Bradley when he was on from Rosegate, that the minute you open your own brokerage, you're now not just a mortgage professional, but you're also compliance, you're also HR, you're also IT, you're also investor relations. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I thought this would be cool to own my own business, but there's more to it than just doing loans. Yeah, Meg's like, oh, there's a need here. Let me teach others who are serious how they can do it. If they don't want to buy one of her franchises, they can potentially just go ahead and purchase her product. So I was connecting with Meg. True story, y'all. She cold reached out to me via LinkedIn. Now, it helps we have a lot of the same connections. Like, she's tight with Meg Rodriguez. We're tight with Renee. Like, there was definitely some commonalities. So we had some instant connections, but I didn't know her prior to her reaching out to me via LinkedIn. Then she got on my calendar. I got on her calendar. The rest is history. But I'm looking at this as, it's pretty awesome. Meg has 40, 50 mortgage loan originators, mortgage brokers who need some training. They need some support. They need coaching. They need mentorship. They need resources. And she's like, Dustin, I love what you guys are doing over at Tlop Online.
Shout out Tlop Online.
Yes. I'm like, yes, Meg, that is branch manager in a box for any mortgage loan originator who's feeling lost or scared or not supported. Or how about this? Any loan originator that says, man, in order for me to have a better year than this year, I'm going to have to make some changes. But I don't know which changes. I don't know how to change. We have a solution, tloponline.com. So check it out. But Meg, hopefully, is then going to have a product that we don't have that maybe we can start featuring. And Meg herself, after going through not one, not two, but 3 amplifies with Renee Rodriguez, she's a pretty darn good public speaker herself. So we may have her on soon as either a podcast guest, if she can get her and her 20,000 kids down here from Erie, Pennsylvania. Not 20, she has like 4.
Okay.
But I was making fun of her having 4 kids. I have 2, and 2's a lot, But if we can't have her on the show, let's at least have her as a Tlop exclusive. Because our members of Tlop, our Tlop community, they know part of my membership, I get live sales training, coaching calls with DO, and he's always bringing in special guests. Just like, by the way, today, the day that people are listening, the day that this drops, it's a Tuesday, it's November 28th, and today is a day of a Tlop exclusive. One of my first business coaches, John, Kai McBride.
I remember that. You've been saying his name incessantly for like years.
Yeah, since we launched the show.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I take things that I've learned from my coaches and my mentors and the conferences and conventions and books, as well as real world experience. I bring them to this audience. Well, Kai is our Tlop exclusive.
Word.
He is going to be presenting his keynote, Evolve or Die, How to Survive the Modern Mortgage Market. So you're not going to want to miss this. It's actually today, if you're listening the day this drops, which is Tuesday, November 28th.
That sounds relevant.
And then I was talking about all the value that we're giving away at Tlop Online, right? The value. This is value, the exclusives, but the 2 calls that you all have been getting with me, you all would be our current members, right? The 300 or 400 plus. We're adding 20 a week right now to the Tlop community, but those that are OG foundation members, those that are getting the greatest discounts, because our prices will be going up January 1st, then they'll be going up again June 1st, and then one more time January of 2025. That is what our consultant has advised us based on our valuation, based on what we're providing to the audience, to the community. But anyhow, we are going to be rolling out a Tlop Faculty. I had an amazing call with 5 of my friends. These are people that I look at as the future of the mortgage industry. They are all top producers. They are all in the game. They all have the ability to teach and the heart of a servant. And they are as far west as you can go. They're as far south as you can go. They represent broker. They represent banker. They represent independent mortgage bank. But we're going to be introducing our Tlop Faculty next month. That way, when you are a member of tloponline.com, you're not just getting the training videos and the scripts and the marketing ideas and the resources and 2 calls with DO and 1 call with a Tlop exclusive. My goal is to be able to have 5 more monthly calls. And then we're going to record the calls, and then we're going to host them on this e-learning platform that Mark Holmes on our team,
shout out Mark Holmes,
is out right now demoing, finding the best e-learning platform. And we're going to take all the training videos currently on tloponline.com and start housing them on this e-learning platform, while you and I consistently make 3 to 5 new training videos every single week. We know that because you and I were just in the lab on Wednesday, yesterday making that happen.
Flies,
yeah, making that happen. So, man, I'm super pumped up, super excited. I am really excited about that new hoodie you're wearing.
Oh, this one, I just pulled this thing out.
Yeah, right. That thing is,
I promise
that's an early Christmas present. We just did an episode on not breaking the bank during Christmas, and you're like, all right, I'm going to break the bank before Thanksgiving.
True story. The only reason why I wore those hoodies is because I had to wear the matching J's, because apparently I stepped in like a gummy bear or something, and it was stuck to the bottom of my shoe. So to clean them off, it happens to be raining here in Central Florida for the past 5 days. So I walked through some puddles, and that's what influenced the hoodie today.
What, because you had to find something in your car that matched the shoes you were wearing?
Yeah,
or those are the only shoes you had clean and available, so you had to go find
I wanted to clean the shoes, but if anyone, you stepped in a gummy bear that's kind of hard, I don't want to clean it at my house, so I'll just walk around like outside. Since it's raining, I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I put the shoes on first, and then I was like, what hoodie do I have to match this? I was like, oh, this thing.
You are the epitome of when super smart meets super lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you figured that out.
Yeah,
thank you. You figured that out.
Yeah.
So you stepped on this gummy bear some other day.
Yeah, some other day. I was
and you looked outside today like, oh shit, it's raining.
Yeah, so
let me grab those J's that have the gummy bear.
Walk through the puddle.
But what's going to match those J's?
Yeah,
I got to find that red hoodie in the back of my closet.
Literally, that's it.
Yeah, I spent too much money on last Christmas, and I probably have never worn.
I worn it once in my life.
Well, twice today.
Exactly.
It looks good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
man.
you make that look good.
You too, man. Like the Spider-Man meme. We'll point at each other. You look good too, man.
Thank you.
Michelle dress you?
I'm wearing old man clothes today.
That looks good.
Thank you. Blue looks good on me, or I look good in blue. One of the two.
That's right.
All right. So we've done stuff for the kids. We did stuff for careers, right?
Yeah.
We did stuff on AI and geeked out with Pavan, CEO of Sunwest Mortgage,
I'm looking forward
right?
to actually editing that episode.
Have you edited the one with Carlos yet?
No, because I have to turn it down. I can still hear it.
Oh my gosh.
He loves just swallowing the microphone.
So excited. And he's a 20-year radio personality.
He should know better, but you know, hey, these aren't those
had
radio
that microphone
mics.
down his throat.
And I'm like, Carlos, these aren't those mics, bro. Yeah, please.
Oh, he thought he was back at Clear Channel.
Yeah, where you could just scream and they have automatic. No, bro, you broke people's ears listening to that, so we apologize.
We're a broke ass podcast.
These are entry level pod mics.
Shooting from my studio here. He thought he was back at who's his employer? It's not Clear Channel. No, it's the bigger one.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio. Yeah, he thought he was back at
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
Nah, bro, this is still a mom and pop shop operation.
Yeah, one day, Carlos, we get enough people to sign up for memberships at tloponline.com.
Yeah, we'll fix the mic problem, people.
We'll
Promise.
some new mics. Well, here's something I want to do. We're doing a ton of business planning right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ton of business planning. In fact, if y'all want to put 2 more things on your calendar, I'm going to be doing business planning for the Tlop community on the 19th of December. Right, so go to our website. We have all this on the website. I'm actually doing business planning for MGIC
I saw that.
on the 5th. You know, we have already 2,000 people RSVP'd for that event.
Are you serious?
2,000 people are already RSVP'd. It's on December 5th. MGIC is the sponsor. I'm coming in as the hired gun. I'm going to be giving my best in class, this is how top producers business plan. And then again, for the Tlop community, I'm going to be doing it in a more intimate setting on the 19th of December. And then just because we're talking about events and I have them written down on this little piece of paper, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I know I've been teasing this for 6 months now. We've had some issues with the venue. We had some issues with sponsors in terms of life events popping up, but it's confirmed. We're going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma on January 11th.
What?
It's a Thursday. And we're going to swipe and adapt from the success we had in Charlotte when we did the event for Rosegate Mortgage. We're doing it at another brewery.
What?
Another brewery on the 11th, flying into Tulsa. It's going to be a half-day LO sales mastermind hosted by yours truly. We're going to do a realtor top producer panel where we can pick the brains of realtors to figure out how they like to be called on and marketed to. What do LOs do well? What do they wish we did better? I'm going to have a top producer loan officer panel where we can pick the loan officer's brains about how did you get to where you are? What are you doing to succeed in 2024? What are some business lessons you've learned along the way? And then I'm going to close it out with one of my keynotes.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for information on that Tulsa event. That's a live event. That's going to be our first in-person live event of the year. And it's going to be up in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Damn.
All right. So, but today's episode, it's in end of the year, right? End of the year. We're going to close out this year strong. We're going to enter the new year and we're going to have all of these goals and these plans. And I like having goals and plans because I believe this time of year is when you should start reviewing the year that was and preparing for the year that is. And I don't care if you are 24 years old and newly married. I don't care if you're 64 years old and you're staring down the barrel of retirement, or you're in your mid 40s and you are at the apex, the pinnacle, the peak of your career. By the way, do you know who Sam Walton is?
The guy who started Walmart?
There you go. Do you know at what age Sam Walton made it?
Probably when he was like 55.
43.
Yeah, so I still have time? There's
You
still
still
hope?
have time. Yep,
Yes.
and I'm a year behind.
All right.
You still have time and I'm a year behind. But nonetheless, yeah, but this is the year to business plan. This is the time of year to business plan. Every year is the year to business plan, but this is the time of year to business plan. But business planning isn't just for mortgage loan originators. It isn't just for entrepreneurs. It just isn't for realtors or financial advisors. This is for everybody. Everybody this time of year needs to treat their household like a business. And if you run a business, you should be treating your business like a business. It's not a not-for-profit. It's, not a charity. No, you have to run your business like a business. So these are some things that you should be doing this time of year. You ready to go? Because I'm ready to go. Let's crank this one.
Okay, let's go. Let's plan.
Yeah, I wish we had a better producer and then he could put in those sound effects for me.
Shit. I'm
Right?
looking for one too. If y'all know anybody.
You know what? I were reached out by a Tlopper who's trying to break into the mortgage industry.
Yeah.
And he's coming from production.
Is he?
Yeah, he pre-produced film and TV
Yeah,
out,
tell him to
out
get
in
up
LA.
here. Shit, I'll give you here, take the keys, man. Shit, I ain't jealous at all. Come, hit me up.
All right, so this is going to be pretty basic, pretty straightforward, but at the end of the day, if it's new, it ain't true, and if it's true, it ain't new.
Yeah.
And most people, when we talk about the basics, we talk about it over and over and over again because y'all haven't quite mastered it. You may know what to do, but you're not doing it. You may do it here and there, but you're not doing it consistently. So until you're doing it consistently, we're going to not stop talking about it. I feel that way when it comes to like networking online and social media. I just had a coaching call where we talked for 30 minutes on this. And I told the group, you've probably heard all of this, but you're not doing it. And the fact that you're not doing it means that you are missing out. It means you are becoming a dinosaur. You're going to be extinct. So we jumped right back into it. I didn't think I ever had to. I thought enough people knew enough things about social media, what to do, why to do it, how to network properly. No, they still don't. Or if they do, they're not doing it, which makes me believe that they don't know what they're doing. Same thing with personal finance, same thing with business planning. So here's what I am doing both at home and in my business world or worlds, because it is December of 2023 and I'm preparing for January of 2024. First thing I have to do is figure out where I have been. Where have I been? What have I accomplished? Where did I spend my money? Where were my wins? Where were my losses? In the business world, we sometimes start with a SWOT analysis, right? What are my strengths? That's what the S stands for. What were my weaknesses? That's what the W stands for. Where are my opportunities? That's when we start thinking about 2024. What are my threats? That's where we start thinking about 2024. But the strengths and weaknesses typically are based off of past performance, past production. So you could be Sally Homemaker and you could sit down at the end of the year and you could ask yourself, what did I accomplish? How much money did we earn? Write that number down. How much money did we spend?
That's scary. I hate looking at that number, Dustin.
You know what, Johnny? I was hoping you would say that because that's how most people feel. Okay, that right there, that is a threat. Nothing changes if nothing changes. How are you supposed to become more financially literate and responsible and fit if you can't tell me how much money you spent? Do you have a budget? Let alone do you follow the budget? Let's start, do you have a budget?
Yeah.
Do you even recognize where your money goes? Have you ever tracked every dollar you spent for a 30-day period of time?
Waffle House getting at least 25% of my budget, my money, it seems like.
Who?
Waffle House.
Waffle House?
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably after you go to True Leave. You go to True Leave, and then you end up at Waffle House. Yeah, after a couple Negronis up at Hillstone. I know how you roll. But, I mean, I'm being serious when I'm trying to coach people through this. I'm like, look, let's first start with, well, where do we make our money? And was that the money you're anticipating making? Did you make more? Did you make less? If you made more, was it due to effort or was it due to an anomaly? And then if you made more, but it was due to an anomaly, i.e. mortgage and real estate professionals in 2020 and 2021, for them to think that money would continue into 23, 24, 25, that's kind of asinine. That was kind of naive of them because they were a product of the market or industry that they were a part of. So then once you recognize that, you have to then figure out, where did I win? Well, I won because I was able to go on a vacation with my family, spend quality time. I was able to unplug from work and make memories, and I self-funded it, meaning I'm not still paying interest on a credit card. Okay, that would be a win. You should chalk that down and you should celebrate it. You should look at how much money did you save for retirement. For some of you, you're like, retirement, what? Okay, we have some opportunities in 2024. You should look at what did you pay in real estate taxes versus last year versus this year. You know what I just found out with my real estate taxes? Had I not done this exercise?
That you were owed some money or you overpaying?
I was overpaying by $4,000 this year.
What?
There was an error. There was a true error. It's been rectified. The county of Seminole, Seminole County was
the Seminole of
the
county.
county of Seminole. The county of Seminole was fantastic to me. Took great care of me. But they made a mistake and I had to catch it because I read my mail, because I know how to, keep an eye on my finances, right? Keep them money in my, I'm a money in my mind.
Jesus,
there you go.
yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Don't butcher that one.
Oh
my God. I'll edit that out. I'll edit that.
I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
First time I'm gonna edit something.
Holy cow. Man, did I butcher that. Almost like I butchered the intro to the first episode we did at UCF.
That's right. You were nervous.
I was just thrown off because I'm not used to having you and a guest on.
It's awkward.
I mean, used to having you on or a guest on, not you and a guest. So anyhow, and even the other two times that we've had three people, it's not been you.
Exactly.
That was a first.
It was a first.
Okay, well then I screwed up for the first time, and then now I screwed up for the second time.
Yeah, first and last.
All right. Nonetheless, let me circle back for my Sally Homemaker out there. You need to be reviewing your bills, your big bills, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, tax bills. You need to make sure that they're accurate, and you look for cost savings. Like, this is what you do as you're closing out one year and you're entering the next year.
You really do that every year? Like, at the end of every year, you really shop your insurance and stuff? Like, every year?
Yes. Usually when I get the bill in the mail and I'm like,
what the hell? What are y'all doing?
Yeah. I pick up the phone. I call Brett Young. If Brett don't pick up, I call his little brother Taylor Young.
Shout out Taylor Young.
And if Taylor doesn't pick up, man, I start just going down the line. Yeah, I'm gonna find somebody who's gonna answer some questions because I'm not paying $4,000 a year in homeowners insurance.
Right.
And they're like, "Well, sir,
well,
the best we can find you in Florida is $4,200." I'm like, "Okay,
oh, yeah.
Yes, a best practice for homeowners. You do need to do all of this, right? And this isn't an entire episode where we can teach a 2-hour seminar, 2-hour course. What I'm trying to get at is you have to understand where your money's coming in, where it's going out, and you need to find areas of improvement, right? When you're looking at the year that was, please don't just look at it from a lens of criticism and critique. Find some wins and celebrate the wins, but then also don't look at it with rose-colored glasses on. Find areas of improvement so you have something to work on and work towards. In a perfect world, where we, the American populace, should be going towards finding ways that we can live our life where we're not paycheck to paycheck. That means we have a budget and we follow it. That means we've figured out ways to make enough money that we can earn and bring home more than what we have to spend. We've pared down our lifestyle so that we can earn more than we spend. That has allowed us to then have no consumer debt. That has allowed us to put together plans to pay off our student loans or plans to pay off our mortgages. It means that we don't make extravagant decisions to buy boats and RVs and motorcycles and fancy cars if it impedes our long-term goal, because financial fitness is a game of chess. It's not a game of checkers. And once you have your consumer debt paid off, you should have 3 to 6 months of your lifestyle in reserve. That's where knowing your budget will help you figure out how much you need to have in a reserve account, like a money market account. Well, 3 to 6 months. If you sit down and you figure out how much you spend at the grocery store, how much you spend on gas, how much you spend on babysitters, how much you spend on, you name it, kid birthday party gifts, rent, mortgage, car notes, insurance, cell phones. You look at that number, you find a way to eliminate some cost if you need to. You look at your employment situation, you look for ways to improve that so you bring more to the table. And then you live a healthy, responsible lifestyle with the decisions that you're making. You eventually end up at a place where you don't have any consumer debt. You have 3 to 6 months reserve, and then you're saving something for retirement. Something for retirement could be an IRA. It could be a 401k. I always say start at 401k because your employer 9 times out of 10 is going to match. Well, that's free money, right? You put in $1, they put in 50 cents. You put another $1, they put in 50 cents. You fast forward 3 to 13 years later, wow, you have your money that's been growing because it's an investment and it's invested wisely, and their money. Like, how smart is that? This is all before Bitcoin. This is all before you start day trading penny stocks, right? This is what you do. This is what millionaires have done to become millionaires. And then if you are in the right phase of life, you also look at home ownership, because home ownership, 9 times out of 10, for those that it makes the most sense for, it's the number one way to generate wealth in our country. So that's what you should be doing at the end of the year. You should assess what you did. It's an exercise. It takes 4 hours. It's not that fun. It is more fun over a bottle of wine if you're into wine. It really is. Atomic Habits, James Clear, one of my favorite books. If you want to create healthy habits, you have to make them fun. Figure out ways that you can make that fun. Making it fun could be cash in some of those points from the credit card, go get yourself a fancy hotel room at the lake or at the beach, and know that, yes, you're going to the beach or you're going to the mountains or wherever your fun, happy place is. It may be a campground for some of y'all. And take that project with your significant other and do it there. So once you've assessed where you've been, now you have to focus on where you're going. Okay, what big expenses do we have coming up? What big trips would we like to do? Looking at my career, how can I make improvements that are going to allow me to either have better work-life balance or create more revenue coming into my house? Because, by the way, that's what your income is. Your income is revenue. Businesses call it revenue, but people who don't think like a business, they call it income. By the way, those that are the most savvy and most successful running their personal finances are because they think of it like a business. And then as you're making your plan, you have a budget, just like businesses do. You have revenue goals, just like businesses do. Revenue goals, how much income is coming in. The budget is, this is all the money that we're going to have to spend. And then you have investment goals. Businesses need to invest. They invest in technology. They invest in new associates. They invest in new ventures. You as the consumer can invest, but you're investing typically in your retirement, or you're investing in your education, or you're investing in moving the needle one step further. But you need to put together a plan. And by the way, there's a ton of tools. I would say start with a financial advisor. Literally, start with a financial advisor. I don't care if it's Morgan Stanley or Merrill Lynch, if it's a private, local individual who's independent, or if it's Edward Jones or Ameriprise, if they're still around. I would tell everyone you owe it to yourself to sit down and do a consultation. Don't try to DIY, do it yourself. This is not a do it yourself. Use this right now, what we're talking about, use this as your motivation. Use this as your, okay, I kind of was picking up what that guy was putting down. He was talking kind of fast. It's okay. What I heard was, it's possible. What I heard was, I should be looking at where I spent my money, how much money I earned. I should be looking at where my money's going out. There are big ticket items that I pay for every single year. Real estate taxes, homeowners insurance, auto insurance. Heck, even my mortgage. When was the last time you called your favorite lender to do a mortgage review? Like that mortgage that you have right now, that was the best mortgage for you at the time based on the market conditions and your financial needs, wants, and goals. That helped you qualify. Well, the market has changed. Your life has changed. It's time to do a review. What's the worst thing your lender will tell you, or any lender will tell you? Maybe you don't know who your lender is. That's fine. You know what? Shoot me a DM, go to LinkedIn and say, yo, DO, can you hook me up with a good lender? Guess what? I have thousands of lender friends throughout the country. I can find you a good lender. But allow that lender to go through your scenario and give you some options. And the option may be stay put. Okay, peace of mind. No different than when I got pissed off that my homeowner's insurance went up to $4,000.
Well, you want to pay $4,200, Mr. Ron? No, never mind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look, it took me 15, 20 minutes, and now I have peace of mind. Now I know at least I made the right financial decision. Look at your damn cable bill. Like, do you really need all of those channels? Do you even need cable? Right? That's something to look at. Look at your student loans. Could you consolidate them? And if you consolidated them, could that help you financially? I don't know. Like, there's resources out there. We've had some of those resources on this show before. You remember Kat?
Shout out Kat. Yeah,
Kat on like earlier in the year. I think her company's called Loan Sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like check out Loan Sense if you have student loans. But what you don't do is ignore it. What you don't do is put your head in the sand.
Damn.
And by the way, for my business professionals, for my loan officers, for my mortgage loan originators, realtors, financial sales professionals, y'all need to be doing the same exact thing right now with your business, right? Where did your leads come from last year? How many leads did you generate? From who?
Mm-hmm.
From which category? What did you do to get those leads? How many sales did you have? What type of revenue did you generate? What type of commissions did you earn? What did you do for those commissions? Or better yet, what did you not do? What are some things that you could change right now? And if you picked up 2 or 3 really good habits and you stuck with them all of next year, how much could you move the needle? We did a whole entire episode about the formula for success. Equal parts, you remember this? It's equal parts effort and skill. So in 2024, if you're a sales professional, what 1 or 2 skills and 1 or 2 efforts, we'll call them, could you lean into, maximize, do more consistent? And if you did so, the compound effect would lead to you funding, closing 20% more, generating 20% more revenue, at which point you would hope your income would increase by 20%. It's that time of year. This is what we should be doing. If you're a mortgage loan originator, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we are doing lots and lots of business planning.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
For this business plan in 30 seconds or less, how am I supposed to like write down the plan like on a piece of paper? Do I need a PowerPoint deck? Should I put it in Excel? Like when you say plan, like
well, you are going to make me a PowerPoint deck, so I will have a PowerPoint deck when I present. So that I appreciate, John.
Yeah.
And those dates are December 5th, and those dates are December 19th. I and John from Tlop will provide you with an Excel spreadsheet. We will provide you with a referral account pyramid, and we have a robust form, 2-pager, for you to be able to take home with you and spend 2 hours outside of the call. The call is to teach you what to do, get you motivated to do it. Then you're going to go home and do it. But before you get off the call, you're going to know exactly what to do. And we're going to walk you through an exercise where you're going to know how many units that you need to fund to make the money you want to make, and how many leads you need to generate, and how many credit reports you need to pull. And you're even going to have an idea of where those leads are going to come from on a monthly basis. And yes, we're going to give you all that, John. Like, all that's going to be there. I'm encouraging you, because if you don't hop on one of these 2 calls, and if you're not getting it from your branch manager or your regional or your corporate office, like, what are you going to do to prepare for the year to come? Because again, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't track it, it never happens. You got to write it down. You got to track your activity, but you have to first know where you were in order to figure out where you're going, because you're looking for areas of success and you want to double down on that. You're looking for areas of improvement, so you then can figure out which task you're going to implement. For us, like what we're doing at Tlop, like we're going to sit down and even lay out. There's 11 conferences we could attend. We're going to pick 4 that we're going to be at. And we're going to strategically pick 4 based on price, date, location, and the perceived value that we feel like we'll get there from networking. Right? We're also going to sit down and do our budget. Right? It doesn't matter if you're a loan officer, if you're a loan officer training development company, a realtor, or you're a chiropractor. Like, we all have to do this. And by the way, why I spent so much time in the front end of today's show is because this applies to you at home as well. It does. There are tools, whether it's mint.com, that's a tool. You can Google other tools. Clark Howard talks about all the various personal finance tools. I preferred, me personally, I sat down with a financial advisor. In my lifetime, I've sat down with probably 7 financial advisors. I've been a client of 3 different financial advisors. A lot of what I know is from firsthand experience, like what I've experienced, going from a broke joke to somebody that has a little bit of money in the bank, and all the mistakes I made, as well as where I found success. That's what I had the opportunity to give back to our clients, as well as to talk about on the episode. But I also learned half of it just by sitting down and having coffee and lunch with financial advisors, hearing what they had to say, listening to their advice, picking up pieces that I felt like were like really resonated with me, and forgetting the things that were either over my head or I felt like weren't really relevant to where I was going in life. I encourage everyone to do that. It's well worth the time. Like, this is your business. Like, why would you not do it? It baffles me that someone wouldn't do some of the things that we talk about.
Well said, Dustin.
Awesome. What do you think, John? Time to wrap it up?
Yes, please.
Awesome. Well, just like most episodes, the purpose of the episode was to make you say, and to motivate you to get off your ass and make a change.
Yeah, you bum.
Put one foot in front of the other, because that's how you complete a marathon. His name is John Coleman. My name is Dustin O, and you have just tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast. That's all the time we have for you today, but we do look forward to catching you on the next episode.